Ubiest of the tubiest, the best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you, and I'm 50 plus. I want to first start off by saying congratulations to Josh. I met Josh. He's one of the Ubiest, and I got a chance to meet him at the terminal in Salt Lake when we both worked for Swift. And he's come over here with us here at Melton now, and he's going to start his flatbed journey. Yesterday was his first day at orientation, and um, I want to give a shout out to him. Congratulations, man! This is going to be a lot of fun. You'll definitely enjoy this company, and you'll enjoy flatbed. It's going to have its challenges, as does some of those customers that we had to do a tight blind side back. you know every job has its challenges, but you can do this one, and it does pay off in the long run. Um, so this is going to be a short one. It's going to wanted to uh, just brush a little bit on what you should expect when you go to orientation. Okay, orientation um, is, it depends on where you go, but um, he's at Tulsa, and it's an 8-day orientation. And you go, wow, man, that's a lot of time for orientation, and everybody hates orientation. I never got that. I didn't understand why, or what's the horrible thing about orientation. I don't get it. It's I think, and it's just like a lot of people are when they watch my videos, and what they'll do is put a time stamp at the bottom, and they'll say, you know, scrub to this spot and get what you came for information. Get right to it. And it's the impatience. And when you skip past everything to get to that spot that you want, you may not get the full picture. In fact, you won't get the full picture because you left some information out. And are becoming, and I won't say we, I take that back because I'm not, but the vast majority of people have gotten to a point in society where we want everything instantaneous, and get right to it, jump into it, and just get going. And then when it fails, blame somebody else. Unfortunately, that's just where it is. And orientation uh, is not exempt from that situation. People go to orientation, and the first thing they want to do is get out of there. But if that's the case, once you get out on the road, when things happen or you need something, how do you get that information? Well, you would have known how to get it or known what to do if you'd have just went through orientation and paid attention. But eh, in this industry, drivers will complain to their driver leader that they had to sit for the weekend, not knowing where to go, what to do, because they didn't know how to get to the source of it, and the driver leader was not available because it's the weekend, right? They don't know how to use and take advantage of the after hours team. They don't know that because they didn't want to go to orientation. They didn't want to pay attention. So it's the driver's leader's fault that they set. You follow what I'm saying? Those processes are important. If they weren't, then that would not be orientation. And that's in any of them. Some places the orientation is only a day. And they may have smaller company with fewer resources, and it's just sign a bunch of papers, get out there, burn some fuel, buy. And then when you need something, it's just, that's crazy. But um, you will do 8 days of orientation. Now, when I went through Birmingham, and it was 5 days. It was a very fast and compact 5 days, and you know, Fortunately for me, there were grown folk in that class. And what I mean by that, I'm not trying to say that, if you're youth that you're an issue. What I'm saying is there were people who had, they were all experienced drivers, and some of them had flatbed experience already, and we were able to, and it was a small class, and we were able to, uh, you know, with each other figure things out and move through the course fairly quickly, and the instructor did not have to hold everybody's hand along the way, which would have slowed the process down. So it worked out really good. But if you go to Tulsa, it's going to be 8 days regardless. Okay, you're going to go 8 straight days. Securement is a big part of that 8 days. Okay, um, pay attention when you go through the securement class. Okay, very, very important. What you're going to get there is a foundation of what it takes to secure a load. Okay, they cannot possibly show you how to secure every scenario, because every scenario is different. Every load you get is going to be different from the one that you just got. That's a fact. You may have uh, coils. Okay, so they'll show you how to do some sinking coils, and they'll show you how to do a suicide. They'll show you how to do a shotgun. They'll have an eye to the sky. You got to do all those. However, what if there's two eye to the skies? Where do you place those on the trailer to distribute the weight properly? Do you want the heaviest in the back, or you want the heaviest up front? Do you want them close together? You want them far apart because they need to be tarped, maybe. Well, one needs to be tarped, the other one doesn't need to be tarped. One is a shotgun, one is suicide on the same trailer. I'm just giving you scenarios that are not taught to you in class. My point is, they cannot possibly teach you everything, but what they are going to give you is a foundation to to start from. Okay. Also, if you are paying attention in orientation, you'll know that there's a securement hotline with safety, and uh, if you have a problem with your load, a question about the load, you can take a picture of the load, send that picture in to safety, and they'll tell you what to do to secure it properly. Uh, so there's a wealth of information there, and if we're going from dry van, refrigerated tanker, anything other than flatbed, and you're coming here to Melton, uh, if you've never done flatbed before, it's like you're like a brand new baby. You're starting all over from scratch. It's not hard. It's not. You just have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the loads you're working on with, and you know anybody can get in trouble with this stuff. As far as securement, that could happen. In a dry van or a refrigerator. Gosh, excuse me. Yeah, I've been driving all night. Sorry. I left. I left the yard in El Paso where I picked this load up, and I left at 11:30 last night, and I drove all through the night to get all the way here. So it's like 600 miles. So I drove like 500 of them already, and it was in the middle of the night, and I'm tired. So, anyways, the point of this whole thing, and excuse that yarn in your face. Um, the point is, when you're going to go through orientation, and yes, it's 8 days, but the information that they're going to give you is very well worth it. Pay as much attention to it as you can. Ask as many questions as you can, but don't be intimidated by it. Don't be nervous about it. Don't be thinking that you're going to come out here and be left alone with these loads and impossible to handle or secure, because that's just not the case. In fact, a lot of times you'll go to these shippers, and that's how I learned it. You go to these shippers, and you'll see other people loading. And if you have it's the first time you ever done it, you're a little bit nervous about it. Go find another Melton driver and say, "Hey, man, let me work with you. Let's knock out your load. I want to learn how to do it. And they'll do it. And if it's not a Melton driver down, but you see another driver around, and you just look at them. You can tell when people you know, somebody you want to talk to. You know what I mean? You can look at somebody and tell. You know, look at their truck. Clean, nasty. Look at them. They clean, they nasty. You know. But then they can teach you something, and I learned a lot about how to secure loads. So I'm gonna tell you a little quick one, and then I want to let you go. I picked up some bricks. I pick up bricks, quite a bit, and these stacks were the type of bricks they were. They were um, the stacks were about 3 feet. Okay, and we use these edge protectors, and they're actually 8 inches by 12 inches. So they're 8 inches, 8 inches by 12 inches, and then they do like this, and then they you put them over the edge of the brick, and then the strap goes over and protects the strap from the being torn up by the load. Okay, so if you got 3 feet and these things are 12 feet, so that means these straps will be fairly close together, well they'll be about 3 feet apart because you're gonna put one in the center of each bundle. Okay, hope you follow me so far. Um, Probably stumbling because I'm tired, but anyways, um, so my straps is about 3 feet apart, one strap each bundle all the way back, and the the securement rules are two straps within the first 5 feet of the load. Okay, so I obviously got two straps within the first 5 feet because these things are the straps ain't but 3 feet apart, so I probably got almost three straps in between the first 5 feet, right? So I get pulled over. Texas DOT says, "Hey, you got a problem here on your load." And I go, "Whoa, what's going on? What the hell?" I'm over secured. I've got way more straps than the ways. I'm good. As it turns out, I wasn't good because the first bundle needed two straps. Okay, so you have to put two straps on the first bundle. I don't. And when I got done putting them together, because he had me fix it right there, he let me fix it right there on the side of the road. Those straps were about about 2 inches, 3 inches between the two first straps. But legally, it's got to be there. It's got to be two straps on the first bundle, not just within the first 5 feet, but on the first part of the load. Or you have to put a bulkhead, and the bulkhead has to be 4 feet or as tall as the load. 4 feet or as tall as the load. 4 feet. Or can you imagine how tall that bulkhead would have to be with 4x4s to build a 4 foot tall? That, that's that's a lot. It's a lot of 4x4s. Okay, the 4 foot tall. No way. No way. So, excuse me. You have to put these two straps across the front. And then I started thinking about it. All of those loads that left that brickyard, and I didn't see one that had two straps on the first had two straps on the first bundle. It's a lot of trucks running out here violating. A lot of them. I now put two straps on the front and two straps on the rear. And then I with one on each bundle across the middle. But you learn something every day, and hopefully you don't learn it to where the point where the hard way where you get a ticket or the hard way where you lose your load. Now, my load would not have come off the truck. The, it's two straps on there because in case of I guess accident or whatever, the load don't go going through the cab, which hence the bulkhead. I mean, it's DOT rules, so we do what the DOT say we have to do to stay in compliance. I did get a warning, and I'm gonna tell you something about that warning. A written warning, and it was an inspection on the side of the road too. That goes on your DAT report and causes you points, even if it's a warning. It's not like don't do that anymore. See you later. No, man, then it's over. No, no, it still goes on your report. Still counts against you. So, uh, the moral of this quick story, and I can quit yawning and actually go take a nap. Ask as many questions as you can ask. You cannot ask them all because you don't know all the questions yet. You won't know them until, unfortunately, you are presented with that question. Presented with that question, okay? But until then, don't take your orientation for granted. Yes, it's 8 days, but it's 8 days of some good, useful information. And you're in a pretty sweet little spot too. That Tulsa terminal is Taj Mahal, that baby. That's a nice place to be. So, congratulations to Josh, and I know a couple other UBS have come over, and I'll shout out to everybody individually. I appreciate you. Learn as much as you can from that orientation. Until I see you out on the road, deliver undistracted, and here's your boop.